pack honey. Here we take care of bees. I'm a beekeeper. I'm a third generation in the family business. My responsibilities here are to take care of all areas of the operations, but first and foremost, making sure the bees are taken care of. The honeybee family is a very close-knit family, and each member of the family has a role to play. Your worker bees, which you have the queen, you have the drone, and you have the worker bees. Your worker bees are female bees. They do have the barbed stingers. Their first job is right there where they're born. They'll start cleaning up after themselves and cleaning up in the nursing area and the brood area where any bees are being born. Now, as they get older, their jobs change throughout their life. They will, at some different points in their life, they will be nurse bees taking care of the queen. There will be a job when they will be protectors at the front of the hive, and they'll be watching out for the hive to come under attack. They'll be the defensive bees for the hive. And their last job that they have through these different jobs is as a gatherer, forager and gatherer, where they will actually be leaving the hive every day and all day that the weather permits, that they're out there gathering nectar and pollen to bring back to the colony. And they will work that job literally until their wings are no longer functioning. The drone is there for mating for queens and to ensure that you have fertile queens. Lots of times drones live and die without serving the purpose, their main purpose, because they're not always needed. They're there in case they are needed. The queen, though, has a role in which that she is the mother of the colony and she lays the eggs. It is her role to ensure the life of the colony by continually laying eggs. She will, from the time she's born as a virgin and is mated with drone bees, she goes back to the hive, and the rest of her life is spent laying eggs. She'll lay 1,000 to 2,000 eggs a day for her life, on average. Once she is no longer productive enough to lay enough eggs, she'll be replaced. She'll have to be replaced for the colony to continue. Why pure, why raw? Well, pure honey is often, that word alone is often abused in labeling in the industry, but I can tell you what it means to us. To us, it means that it's pure. It means it's honey from the bees. It's bees' honey, it's nothing else. There's nothing added, nothing taken away. It's pure product. Raw means that it's not been heated to the point that it's been cooked. It is a raw like a vegetable. And why that's important with honey is because if it's raw, it has all of the nutrients left intact. It has all of the medicinal and health benefits that it has when it was made left intact. Once honey is no longer pure and has other things added, it's not what it's meant to be anymore. The health benefits are only there if you get the pure raw honey.
Well, I had problems with allergies twice a year when the change in seasons, and that's been going on since probably I was little, since I can remember, and nothing really helped. You could kind of make the symptoms subside some, but you really still had the congestion, and my main thing was swollen eyes and watery eyes. My eyes would be bloodshot. When I heard about the honey, the wildflower local honey that helped people's allergies, I jumped on that. And I take 2 tablespoons a day. Honey's not just limited to allergies. I know, especially if it's combined with other ingredients like cinnamon, there's a lot of health benefits. I've even had poison ivy, and I placed dabs of honey on my poison ivy, and it stopped the itching immediately, which I had prescribed medication before for poison ivy that did not do that good of a job as the honey does.
There's lots of discussion about the disappearance of the honeybees, which is a realistic problem. Honeybees provide estimated 33% of our food supply for the world. Regardless of what's happening, it's happening. Bees are being lost. It is harder and harder to keep bees alive. We constantly monitor their health and the status of the bees so that we can make sure they're living and surviving to be done what needs to be done. my babies today. Generally, the honeybee is not to be hated. It is understood to be feared, but they play such an important role in our lives that it's best when they can be respected and you can get someone involved to know how to deal with them. Our company, Weeks Honey Farm, began about 52 years ago. We traced our roots back to when my grandfather, Weeks, my mother's father, was a sharecropper, and he was farming, and he got 2 hives of bees and wanted to learn more about them, and he learned more and more. And as he learned more about them, he started realizing that they made honey, and he was able to take that honey and harvest it once or twice a year, and then he was able to package it and sell it. In fact, he sold his first 2 cases of honey in Atlanta where he'd been taking his vegetables, and we still have that very first customer from 52 years ago in Atlanta.
I grew up in the business. My children grew up in the business, and my grandchildren, and I see that continuing on. As far as our business here at Weeks Honey Farm, the honeybee is a valuable part of our business. We're beekeepers as well as honey packers, but without the honeybee, we wouldn't have the honey to package and sell. So therefore, we're dependent upon the honeybee, because when it all's said and done, the honeybee provides the product. We just simply take that product and we package it and we provide it for the tables of the families.
There's a scripture that had been on our sign for many years that had been something chosen out of the Bible by my mother and her father, and it was put on the sign, Proverbs 16:24. Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. So that scripture, we decided to put that on our, once my dad had passed, the next step we took was we wanted to put it on our label. And we didn't want to only put it on our label, we wanted to put it on the front of our label. Matter of fact, that scripture on all new labels, as we transition to new labels in our line, nearly half the label is the scripture, the Proverbs 16:24 scripture. First of all, that scripture become more and more important to us because it's a reminder of how we should be, of who we should be. Not telling other people how to be, but who we should be, how we should talk to people, how we should respond. And if we've taken the step to put that and associate that with our name, it's kind of holding us accountable even more so. That, okay, if this is on our label, we got to stand behind this. Our motives, first and foremost, is to produce a product. Well, when I say produce, is the bees have produced it, is to take the product that's been produced and keep it just like it is. To me, that's how we know we've done a good job, when the finished product is something we will proudly take home and feed to our family. We're going to do what we do because we enjoy it. We're going to be there with the bees, and we're going to continue to do all we can to help them. It helps to look at the bees and look at the world sometimes and give you a new perspective on where we should be.